Hello, my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are friends, family, and my besties, welcome back. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be diving deep into the energy of this week ahead. And let me tell you, there is so much going on in the charts right now. It is high-key unbelievable. Now, I think you guys are picking up on the fact that lately on the YouTube channel, I've been focusing more predominantly on tarot, intuitive, channeling. That's my gift. That's my forte. It's something I was born with. Astrology is what I have been studying all of my life. And because the transits have been so complex and pulling out a lot of energies that have been triggering people, I've moved my astrology readings over to Behati Love Notes, something similar to Patreon, where I break down those daily transits and monthly transits for them consistently. I do want to use this time today to kind of recap some of the energy because I find that this is really, really important. I'm not going to go into the global energies here because, again, that's a little heated for some people, but I need to talk to you about how the transits are impacting your personal life, what it is that you're going to see and feel, and what you can expect moving forward. It's going to be an empowering message. It's going to be very revealing, and for a lot of you guys, it's going to provide a lot of clarity, confirmation for things that it is that you've already been experiencing, so it's going to be no shock to you. So I'm going to start with the astrology, where you have the charts pulled up, and we are going to end with the tarot readings, the intuitive readings that I've been doing, that I've been loving, sharing with you guys, that you guys have been loving, the general messages focused on love, messages focused on money, messages focused on spirituality, path, and purpose. And then I'll leave you to figure it out and swim through the week, hopefully, fingers crossed, with a sense of direction, path, purpose, and reassurance that you are on the right path, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. So I have my tea here. Go ahead and get your tea, your coffee, your water, your orange juice, your green juice, whatever that you're currently sipping on, and let's go ahead and dive right in. So how are you guys feeling right now? I know that there's been a lot going on in the world news-wise. Some of you guys have disconnected. Some of you guys have dissociated. Some of you guys are tuned into it. With all of these transits and energies that have been going down, are you going to be celebrating Halloween? Are you going to be doing trick-or-treating? Anything of that sort? Are you dressing up with a costume? Really curious how we're going to be celebrating this year. I personally am probably going to be hunkering in. My little one's going to be going like trick-or-treating, I think, lightly trick-or-treating, which I'm just so excited for her. This is her first Halloween. I can't believe it. We had our fingers crossed that she would be born the day before Halloween or really close around, but she was a little late. I don't really believe, I say air quotes because I don't really believe that children are ever born late. They're born right on time, even if it's a C-section or, what is it called? Even if you're induced, they come when they're ready, and sometimes we have to kind of help them out. Anyway, so let me know if you guys are trick-or-treating. We might all be too old to be going trick-or-treating, or maybe you're never too old to go trick-or-treating. Back in Philly, I remember there was this one neighborhood, and I'm going off on a tangent, I promise you. We could dive into the charts shortly after, but back in Philly, there was this neighborhood on Delancey. Well, Rittenhouse, and on Delancey Street, that was kind of like where the people who had money lived or rented. And I lived in Rittenhouse too, but I didn't have money. I was strict, like on a strict, crazy budget. But on the street, they would have like cotton candy machines and give out candy apples. When any other neighborhood was giving out, Snicker bars, like the mini bite-sized things, and then some would be giving out the knockoff candy. And I was just so impressed. I remember being, as an adult, being like, okay, I am going to go to this Halloween party, but I'm also going to stop and get some cotton candy on the way and say hi to my neighbors. So anyway, my love, let's go ahead and dive into the astrology charts. So you are most likely feeling these transits, these shifts right now. The first one that has been standing out to me is the fact that Pluto is finally going to be moving direct. Yeah, Pluto currently in Aquarius it has been retrograde, and now that it's moving direct, it's in this transit with Chiron retrograde. Chiron rules our wounded aspect of ourselves, the wounded healer, the part of ourselves in our life that is our Achilles tendon. Like if somebody says something, it hits that core. For everyone else, it's like, I don't really understand why that might have hurt your feelings so deeply, or if I was trying to intentionally hurt your feelings, I didn't know that it was going to hit so deep. Or you start to find out through people that it is that you love and you spend time with, you're just like, yo, you should know this about her. Do not say this, because that is a deep trigger for her. It's a deep wounded space. And she's using, ultimately what it is that we're doing is we're using this time in our lives to kind of heal that wounded space or coexist with it, really. Like when we say heal, sometimes we think that one day it's just going to all be better. And I just don't think that that's realistic. I don't ultimately think that it's possible. I think we learn to coexist with our wounds. Now, with Pluto moving direct, and with Pluto being retrograde in this aggressive square with Chiron all of this time, the way that the wound weeps, the way that the pain sits, the way that the ache is felt, it goes so deep. And Pluto, as it's moving, it no matter where it is in the astrology chart, it's going to move really, really slow. And this is something that we have to learn how to, again, coexist with wherever it is in our lives. Let's say if it's transiting through the house that rules money for you and what it is that you value, you may find that you lose something so great, or something transforms and transitions in such a deeply profound way that you have to learn how to let go. And as you let go and you experience the highs and the lows of grief itself, you start to realize, I was prioritizing this thing that I felt was the most important thing ever, but then through this process, my values have actually shifted and changed, and this thing actually represented something that is insignificant in my life, and what really matters is this. And then you start to invest your energy, your time, your resources into that which actually does matter. And for the rest of your life, it's going to be stamped or scarred with this realization. That's what Pluto is bringing into our lives and has been bringing into our lives. But for the vast majority of us, when it's aspecting Chiron, and Chiron currently retrograde in the sign of Aries, this is linking into our masculine energy. It's linking into how we identify, what we call ourselves, why we call ourselves that, how we chase after things, how we pursue things. And if we don't, and we exchange our power, we give it over and we say, you do it. Pluto, emphasis on the word power and control. Pluto latches us on to how we control, how we manipulate, how we try to intentionally get things to be. Not that we're being shady. If you hear any noises here, it's my chair. This chair gets rolled around the entire apothecary space, so it's could use some oiling in the joints and stuff. But yeah, not that we're intentionally trying to be manipulative, but this is the way that you know to be in this area of your life. And by the grace of the gods, the god or goddess, we have this opportunity to explore that aspect of ourselves in this area of our lives, learn from it, grow from it, reflect, and then choose to do better, choose to move differently in a way that reflects our growth now, our evolution for our highest and greatest good. Now, as Pluto was retrograde, right? Because for some of you guys, Pluto's going to be direct by the time you come to watch this video. With Pluto retrograde now moving direct in Aquarius, we definitely, each of us individually, were forced to let go of something that we prioritized. Let's say it's a relationship, especially with Aquarius. Energy is sometimes has a reputation of being detached or non-traditional in its approach to relationships, and but really what it is a need to not compromise yourself and your values for the sake of another person. And Aquarius is so wonderful of being like, actually no, that's what you want to do, that's what you like, I'm not going to give up myself in order to make this work for you. Good luck trying to even catch me and bottle me, because I have all of these interests and all this path and all these purpose and all these friends and all these connections that give me value in my life. You're never going to find me tripped up in this. And this is so important too, because Venus, the planet that rules love, beauty, and what we're attracted to is moving into the sign out of Virgo and into the sign of Libra. It's currently Libra season that I'm chit-chatting with you guys here now. And with Libra energy, we have to, again, revisit and highlight, okay, wow, I've been kind of compromising with my relationships. I've been bargaining and bartering with my peace to exchange someone's approach into my life or presence in my life, or I'm being asked to show up in this way to extend myself and go the distance. And initially I want to say yes, but Pluto retrograde is showing me that, am I really saying yes because authentically I align with it, or because it's reflecting the fact that like there's something deeper here that I've wanted to secure for myself, and this just is not going to come in the way that I thought that it would. I'm not going to find it here. I'm attracted to it. I see it. I want to chase it. But if I do chase it, it's just going to hurt me. And also if I catch what it is that I'm chasing, it's not going to be exactly what it is that I was expecting it to be. It reflects something, a deeper pain, a deeper wound that, I'm not ready to face, or I am ready to face it, but that I'm going to have to, really kind of have a come to Jesus moment with myself and find out that I have to do things differently. These transits are insane. Oh, but going back to relationships, right? So let's say with Pluto retrograde through Aquarius and now moving direct through Aquarius, you start to realize, like, listen, I have a deeper understanding of myself, or enough awareness. I may not know all the ins and outs of myself right now because, number one, I'm constantly evolving and shifting and changing. But number two, there's just so many layers. Like, I have so much depth. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to the root cause of everything that makes me tick here in this life, or every single passion, or every single, I was going to say kink. I don't know why I was going to say kink, but okay, fine, kink. Every little thing, So with that being said, do I show up in the same way? Do I continue to move in what I originally committed myself to? If I said yes to this trip, if I said yes to this person, if I said yes to this date, or said yes to this relationship, is this actually really what is it I want? Or does this represent what I thought I wanted? And now that I know that I can't find it here, where can I find that? And that's where the uncovering and the digging. So guys, I say all this because this is literally the foundation of all of our lives, like all of our lives right now. And to go to the next level, not necessarily up, but just to go to the next level in life, this is also happening on a global perspective, a global shift. And I like to put all of that into words feels impossible. Oh, I just got the sweetest text message. That really means a lot to me. I love people. I love friendships. I love, also I'm a speed reader. Random thoughts with Jess. But so yeah, it's to put all of this into words feels impossible, but it would take a minute. It would take a while for me to break it all down, how this interweaves itself and folds itself into society. But this is why the energy feels so hot. This is why the energy feels like a pressure, a shift, because it does go so deep. And not only is this happening in our intimate lives, but take what is happening within us and apply it to every person in this world. Every established business, every established society, there's all this reckoning, like this day of reckoning. And for many of us, it's not just in one area of your life. It's going to be concentrated in multiple areas of your life. And that can be really, really excessive. The heat of that can be really, really excessive. So that's why I wanted to come on. And I know that for astrology right now, I get it. It can be a bit of a trigger hot button point for so many, and I understand because you may not resonate with how I do with loving the predictions and understanding what's happening. When I feel like I understand what's happening, I can accept it easier, better. And then I could see, okay, this makes sense. In the grand timeline of things, this is necessary. It's kind of like allowing a fever to run its course. You know, it's just a part of life. And sometimes it can actually invite in a positive shift. Like, have you ever been sick and then you're just like, you know what, I'm not able to eat, or I don't really have my full energy, but I'm going to use this as a time to detox. And although my body is battling an illness right now, I'm going to use this as a starting point to make sure that I'm continuing to purge and cleanse out my body, because clearly the universe has aligned for it, and I'm just going to go with the flow of that. Not that we're doing anything unhealthy or encouraging illness in our body, but sometimes the way that our life makes us move, it creates an opportunity that we can build ourselves upon that versus being, looking at it as a setback. So, wow, that's a lot to uncover. And I hope that I broke it down for you guys in a way that so more of us can understand it instead of be overwhelmed by it. However, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know down below. That being said, I'm going to close my laptop right here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my tarot and grab the oracle cards on my squeaky chair, and let's go ahead and shuffle the cards and dive right in. All right, pumpkins, we are back. What tea are you sipping? Are you sipping tea? Do you drink tea? Do you prefer coffee? I really like coffee, but I have 1 cup a day, but tea is really, it's always been an important aspect of my life and my daily ritual, but it's so funny, like, what teas I need and what teas I'm feeling. What teas are you guys feeling? A lot of times I'm sipping on a jasmine green tea, just a cheapy brand that I get at the market. Then I'll go with an herbal minty or a cinnamon rooibos tea, or a milky oolong. I feel like you guys have heard me talk about that. All right, give me a moment here while I shuffle and pull. Also, do know that if these intuitive readings resonate with you and if the astrology readings resonate with you, Behati Love Notes is what I've created for the collective. It's something similar to a Patreon, but it's my little orbit, my little world, so I'm not relying on an outside website. Okay, let's see if there's anything. We're going to start with general messages. No, we're going to start with love. Spirit wants us to start with love. We're going to do love, money, spirituality, and we're going to end with general. So interesting that I was talking about tea to start, because I'm actually getting an image of someone sharing hot chocolate. The hot chocolate is, in this case, it's a metaphor for being like reciprocating affection or interest, sharing resources and wealth. Making an effort. Like hot chocolate, and how Spirit is showing me, is someone showing up and giving an effort, like giving extra effort. If you are someone who is single and you have someone approaching you in your life that's making an effort, I still feel like it's so interesting, because they're using the word hot chocolate, or they're using the symbolism of hot chocolate, because although it's a luxury, it's not always sustainable. It's not something that you can live off of. If you are single and not in a relationship and not pursuing anyone, I guess single and not being in a relationship is the same thing. If you're not connected to anything, or anyone, the hot chocolate represents treating yourself. What that means is going to be different for every single person, and you are to release judgment of yourself and whatever that looks like for you. Someone here may feel like you're being too self-indulgent, or you feel guilty, or you feel I don't want to say, no, I'm not going to use that word. It's almost like you feel shame when in a place where you don't need to feel shame. You're allowed to indulge, so to speak. If you are in a relationship, in love, there's an emphasis on effort, making a consistent effort. I'm also seeing not just an effort from one person, but the community around that person. And if you don't feel like the community makes an effort that surrounds that person, that is upholding that person, that impacts the relationship as a whole. There's a book. It is called The Spirit of Intimacy. I will link it. Let me write this down because you guys know I will forget. It's called The Spirit of Intimacy. And the name itself is a little bit deceiving because it's not really about being intimate with someone, emotionally or physically. It's about how important it is for the family dynamic or the family unit to be supported by all members. If not, there becomes a huge issue in balance of just balance in every aspect of our lives. And masculine energy needs its community. Feminine energy needs its community. Each of those together need their support. And each of those cups need to be filled. Emphasis on cup because it's bringing me right back to hot chocolate and how you have to temporarily pour into your cup in every relationship that you're in. If you are seeking, like if you are single and mingling, you need to look for the person who is readily available, does not talk about the potential, but they have it in them now to give to you. Even if this is not your person, do not show up for the person. If you're dating, show up for the person who is offering to pour into your cup, no strings attached, because you need to get used to that type of energy. This is not, okay, I'm also getting a message here that it's not just in love and relationships, it's in other areas of your life and financially too. Someone here is going to get like I don't want to say a sudden windfall or a sudden blessing, but you're going to get like a temporary, it's almost giving like bailout or a blessing. I don't know where this is coming from. I'll shuffle in on this a little bit in just a moment. Spirit's talking about, when it comes to love and relationships, maybe someone here, if you're single and you're setting intention for a relationship, are you also setting intention for the community around the person? Because it's important, again, there's this emphasis on the importance of coming together and being supported by the community and not their community, and that them being supported by your community. If not, it will lead to the downfall, the destruction of the relationship itself. A good thing can become poisonous really, really fast, is what it is that I'm hearing. Even if it feels rich, think about like hot chocolate. Like Spirit is using the symbolism of hot chocolate. Even if it seems rich. Also, guys, this is so, like, Spirit is so funny. You know when you're drinking hot chocolate, and in order to, I can enjoy hot chocolate regardless, but it's best to enjoy hot chocolate when it's warm, when it's hot. But it can only stay hot for so long, which means that whatever you're being offered in love and relationships, it's either temporary, and you are meant to, if you have no strings attached, right? You're meant to enjoy it for what it is and learn to be provided for in whatever way that resonates with you right now. But when it comes to your relationships, when you're interwoven and interconnected, some things that are temporary, it's important that you realize that this is temporary, which means that why don't we set intention or find a way to make this last longer so that it's more sustainable, so that it's more it's more consistent in a way that is healthy, instead of poisoning the relationship and instead of poisoning the dynamic. I love that the Empress card here is upright, especially right now, because as I'm filming this and recording for you guys, Venus is entering into Libra. And this has a lot to do with beauty, attraction, aesthetic, and what it is that we love making its way into our lives, and us just being like, yes, thank you. I love that you knew that I love this, and I received this with open arms, no strings attached, thank you. Seven of Swords reversed, Knight of Wands reversed, Seven of Cups reversed. That's where the discernment comes through. And although, let me pull the astrology chart back up, although we have the part of fortune in the sign of Virgo, and Venus is exiting out of Virgo, Venus is exiting out of Virgo into the sign of Libra, so Virgo is empty, we still have to apply, or you're encouraged to apply the lessons of the past into using discernment. And that discernment is going to be the tool to how you consistently, the paths, the processes that you, the rituals, the routines that you do every day to make sure that as an Empress energy, no matter how you identify, your cup is being filled up. That way you are not burning out. That way you also have direction in your life, or you know what it feels like to be poured into, so that it's not like you're empty and aching or poisoned by too much. Clarify the Seven of Swords. There is something here that's giving someone anxiety and tension. This could be something that is coming into the unknown, not the unknown, something about the future that feels unknown to you. And as an Empress energy, you're just like, what am I going to receive in the future in my love relationships, or just in the future in general? What is it going to look like for me? Is this going to work out for my best interest, or am I going to have to go into my masculine energy, fight, chase, protect, defend myself? I'm afraid, and that makes a lot of sense. There could be underlying, when it comes to Six of Pentacles, someone here really wants to have someone share with them. Someone really wants in a relationship, like, I wish that you would be more generous with me. I wish that you would pour into my cup a little bit more. I wish that you would consider my feelings a little bit more. I wish that you would see how this impacts me, and that it's not that something that I'm saying to you, but something that you fully understand without me having to say it again and again and again, because there's this energy of burnout. When it comes to love and relationships, it's not that this person doesn't know. Seven of Cups reversed, Seven of Swords reversed. It's that they're choosing not to do what they know how to do it. And if that's the case, you have to decide as the Empress energy, does what I receive from this person, does it add value and comfort and ease and luxury into my life without costing me too much in return? Or do I need to actually take a step back and say that the quote-unquote richness of this relationship, or what we have, is actually poisoning me, and at the end of the day, what I really need is just a glass of water. And I need that glass of water to be clean, and I need it to be running into my house, and I need it to be in a clean cup, and I need it to not be taken out of my hands when I'm about to take a sip. And I also would appreciate if this is not my only glass of water, but I know that in the middle of the night I can go get a glass of water, and I will not have to see that there's nothing there. And we are not talking about beverages here. We're talking about how energy is shared. I just feel like there's this energy here of someone being like, dang, like, I know I deserve more. I know I want more. Or we are here and receiving more. I hope that this is something that I can rely on. I hope that this is something that doesn't give me anxiety. When it comes to relationships, for someone here, you could actually be coming to your partner and expressing your fears and expressing your concern and expressing the stress. And this person says, thank you for telling me this. Now I can create a solution. Now I can help you. I did not know that this is what you were experiencing. And I know that it was hard for you and vulnerable for you. Clearly someone is feeling anxiety and tension about this. Now that I know, then I can provide, then I can share. Let me shuffle from the Mushroom Oracle. By the way, my loves, I did update the card that it is I'm using on my Amazon account, my Amazon shop, as well as, I worked on, not completely unrelated, I worked on a clean house, like a non-toxic home. if that's something that you're interested in. There was Amazon deals, and I know some of you guys are like, down with Amazon, and I'm with you. But there was Amazon deals, and some of you guys had reached out about that. There were like 2 people. I don't want to make it sound like it was like a whole bunch of people. It was like 2 people. Yeah. Yeah. So first things first, my loves, the cards. Oh, and the reason why I brought up Amazon is because these cards that I'm shuffling with are on my Amazon storefront, and I do get a small percentage, which does, it's small, but it does help. It goes into my hot chocolate fund. Not me cackling by myself. Okay. With the Empress card here and the Stagnation card, Oracle. The Impress card, I'm not even going to read from the book, and I don't remember what the book says, but I feel intuitively called to share with you the message that it is I feel and sense, which is when someone offers something and it just seems so luxurious, and you're just like, it's there to impress you. But if you are you going through these transits, which I know you are, because we all are, you're almost going to be feeling really skeptical about accepting anything, because you're like, listen, I don't need to be impressed right now. I need something that is going to pour into the parts that is stagnant, pour into the parts that needs to be nourished. If you can't give to me better than I can give to myself, then what are we doing? And that's for people who are in a relationship. For someone who is, or not in a relationship and might be single and mingling, for someone who is in a relationship with the Stagnation card here and the Empress reversed, someone here could be so, even though this is your partner and it's a safe place for you to land, or it should be a safe place for you to land, it seems like you're a little conflicted with expressing your struggle, or a little thing that you just are like, I just don't want them to know, or I don't want to stress them out, or I don't want to overburden them, or, fill in the blank. And it's important that you ask for what you need or share, so that stagnant space, that there are no stagnant spaces within your relationship. If you're choosing to be in a relationship with something, I don't want to say that nothing is off limits or there's no secrets, because we all have our own little tucked away pockets. Even if it's a diary, you're not being like, hey, read my diary. Some of you guys might be, but some parts of us are just tucked away, and that's important because it means that this is all my own. For me, my spirituality is like that. Don't come in my office. Don't be touching my candles. I'm literally working my magic for my clients, for myself, for you. When I lit my candle, you showed up. So don't touch and meddle with things. I'm not here to share my magic. If you could mosey on, if you need your own apothecary space, then I suggest you go build it. Or you show me what you build, and even then, I don't need to dive into your practice. That is for you to do. It's not that I don't like to share. I just don't fold it all in. That's just always how I've been. My practice, my spiritual is mine, and I don't want anybody touching it, especially as someone who shares so much of my magic with the world, right? So, yeah, we all have our things, our little pockets that are just like, please do not touch. Thanks. So, that's normal, but this is not that. This is saying that there's something here within the relationship that if you continue to make this off limits or offline, your partner can't pour into that and sprinkle water onto that. And it would be a very good thing if they did that. In fact, sometimes that person is in your life not just to be your lover, your best friend, your partner in crime, your soulmate, but to water and heal certain aspects of yourself that are like, no one gets close to this right here. And maybe that message is for myself. Maybe I need to share my apothecary space. No. All right. Let me read to you this card for you guys real quick. Do we even have time to do the full? I feel like the astrology readings. All right. Okay. Card meaning for this here. Can you imagine seeing this on your walk in the forest? I'd be like, ah! Okay. Another thing too is like toads. I've been seeing a lot of toads and frogs lately. I just think they're the cutest things. And seeing these toadstools, like these Mushrooms reminds me of like toads and the animal totem. Also, there was an animal that, oh my God, I saw the biggest gator. An 8-footer, guys, 8-footer. I'm going to try to remember to put this up on the screen. Let me see if I can. 8-foot gator on my walk. Okay. Card meaning, is there stagnation happening somewhere in your life at present? What type of animals do you guys have in your neck of the woods that's just like, if you see this, don't touch it? I saw our nanny and I, we were going for a walk to go scout plants and stuff, and we saw the biggest spider, and she was like, that's a brown recluse. Carrie, if you're watching this right now, I love you, girl, but I was like, is it? This thing had a huge hiney, like huge, and we were both like looking at it so close. It wasn't a brown recluse. It was an orb weaver, 1111 on the clock. Someone look at the symbolism. Ooh, yes, please. Someone look at the symbolism of the orb weaver. What does that mean? Because she was hanging around, and I'm going to say she because it felt like a she. And we just got out of there real quick. Maybe not quick enough, but we got out of there real quick. Can someone look at the symbolism of an orb weaver? They are harmless, but this thing looked like it would tear my face off and throw it in the corner and just go about her business. Same. Okay. The bleeding tooth card is asking you where you need to shift stagnant energy. That part right there. Shift. There's something here this week or at the time that you're watching this where something that you may be stuck on, or you're just like, oh, well, this is the way that it is, and I just will never compromise on this, or I'll never find this, or just is what it is. You're going to be pleasantly and maybe unpleasantly surprised, but then pleasantly surprised how good it is to get somebody in that corner and clean it out and then pour into it water and just be like, oh, thank you. I needed that. Are we still talking about mushrooms? Okay. The bleeding tooth card is asking you where you need to shift stagnant energy. It may be in the form of something emotional or physical or an unfinished project. The question to ask yourself is, why am I allowing this to stagnate? That part. Why is it okay for me to have this part off limits? Why is it okay for me to not receive Empress energy? Why is it okay for me to fill everybody else's cups but not my own? Why is it okay for them to overpour and poison me, or this energy poison me, and I can't say no? I just have to accept it because they're offering it. Why is that okay? Why am I allowing this to stagnate? Why am I allowing this to stagnate? Why do I not want to move on from this? Why is it so hard for me to look at this? Is it in the too hard basket or something you have been avoiding for whatever reason? Whatever it is, don't let it fester. Don't let it go unnoticed, because doing so will only create more issues further down the track. Why deal with it then when you can deal with it now and avoid making it any worse? Oof. Sometimes when you truly decide to turn your attention to something, a task isn't as hard as you first thought. Things can move quicker than you can imagine. So let go of the assumptions of what could be or what might happen. That's that 9 of Swords here. And attend to the matter. If it is a difficult matter, sweeping it under the carpet doesn't help anybody. Everything is there to grow from and catapult you to where you are meant to be. Let the flow begin. And when the stagnation shifts, this creates space for something new and fresh. It creates a harmonious flow. Venus and Libra. And your tension can ease. Peace always ensues. Also, while I was reading this, I got an image of someone feeling sick to their stomach. I don't see it within the astrology charts too much, but I am intuitively getting a sense of this. Please, if you have leftovers, do not, and the leftovers have been sitting there and it smells a little questionable, please just throw it out. If you are seeing a deal at the sushi restaurant, skip it this week. Or whenever you are, I'm really getting a strong sense of that now. Like I'm seeing like tummy. If you're hearing about a stomach bug that the neighbors, or it's like, oh, Johnny's not feeling so good, but it's fine. He's got a stomach virus, pardon my French, sorry. But he's got a stomach virus, probably, or something. There's like a little bug, and it's not to be, it's something to respect. Cook your food all the way. Check expiration dates. I'm also getting a strong sense here that someone, like food poisoning, but inadvertent food poisoning. So I literally just got that sense while I was reading this. So, which actually kind of makes sense too. Stagnation, something there is just kind of sitting there for too long and starting to fester, and you may not necessarily see it. Onions, watch out for onions and rice. Ooh, and bean sprouts. Wash your vegetables. Cook your vegetables. Cook everything full. And if it smells off or questionable, or if the restaurant place, maybe just don't eat out this week. Or if someone's recovering from a tummy ache, listen, do not push it. You know when you start to feel better and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to have tacos. I love tacos. Or I'm just going to have happy hour sushi or gas station sushi. It'll be fine. I just got over something. And then, girl, what? Can you please stick with the brat diet? Bananas. I almost said raisins. Not raisins. Rice, apples, toast, brat diet. Nothing wrong with a good toast moment. I made the best biscuits, by the way, last weekend. Everyone was asking me for the recipe. It was fire. And also pumpkin soup. That being said, you guys, I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to stop right here because I have my Behati Love Noters that I want to serve. And TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. And this reading today went a little longer than I was expecting, but I don't have any regrets. It felt really good to connect with you guys in the astrology aspect. Next week, though, make sure that you're subscribed so that you can show up here for next week. Next week, we will focus on the general, the love, the money, the spiritual path and purpose. But for now, please enjoy the astrology aspect of this reading for today and the love readings. I'm going to end it right there. But if this reading resonated and you want to go deeper, Behati Love Notes is where it's at. I might actually finish the rest of this reading with them. Yes, I'm going to do that. We're going to go through money. We're going to go through general. We're going to go through spiritual. Yeah. And that's just what they can expect for the week ahead. So if that's something that you need and you want, it's there for you. Until then, thank you guys so much for allowing me to shuffle and pull cards for you, to connect with you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Please be careful with this food out there, or like cross-contamination. As a Virgo myself, I am crazy with cross-contamination, making sure that there's no cross-contamination. It's wild how much I'm aware, super, super aware. Ask anybody in my life, they're like, yeah, this girl's, she's nuts when it comes to cross-contamination. I don't like that. I don't mess with that. My sink has to be clean. My cutting boards have to be clean. You can't be chopping strawberries and then come over here and keep the knife real close to the raw chicken. Why would you do that? Why? Or have you guys ever gone to the grocery store? Okay, I'm not here to judge. I'm just asking questions. When you go to the grocery store and you're someone who eats meat, do you put the meat in the bag at the poultry counter or the whatever counter before you put it in the grocery cart? Or do you just say, well, it's already packaged? I'm not here to judge. Please be honest. I just wonder how many people do that, because I'm just like, what? Or if you have meat and you put vegetables on top and you're just like, well, the meat is in the package. And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, you know, like, ah. Yeah, crazy. Well, not crazy. It is what it is, but I just feel like that can twist up real quick. All right, my loves. Thank you again for sticking with me through my tangents and allowing me to chit-chat with you. And I hope that you guys are sleeping well. I hope that you guys are hydrated. I hope that your tea is hot and that your water is clean and that your hot chocolate is rich. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Behati Love Notes. I'm shuffling for you now. Love you guys. See ya. Bye.